Hey everyone, welcome to the Talks with My Dude podcast. It's your host, NickMyDude. Today, it's me. I just wanted to fly solo today. I've reached out to a couple people, but I was just kind of feeling a little homey today. Just me, you, and your family. Share this with your family. I'm sure your family would love to listen to this podcast. There's a lot of stuff that happened this past week, and I kind of was wanting to more focus on that stuff. And I know you guys are here for my guests. I know. But it happens. So we're gonna go over what came out this past weekend and what didn't come out this past weekend. Excuse my tracking. I'm trying out a new tracking feature on VC phase, which is what I use for my model. Hopefully, it doesn't freak out too much. But if it does, you just act like you didn't see it, or if it reacted cool or looked cool, you did see it. Okay, deal, deal. So first on my plate of things I want to talk about is the Summer Games Fest. So I'm gonna go over game stuff first. That's kind of what most of you are gonna be here for anyway. And I know that like we're gamers. We all watched the not VC Fest. Wow, the the Game Fest, and we watched the Xbox Showcase, and there's a bunch of other ones, and I didn't watch all of them. Um, I do have limited time, but so I watched Summer Game Fest, and I watched the Xbox Showcase. And I'll just start over with some of the stuff that went off at the Summer Game Fest. Uh, Starting with Wildgate, I think we'll start with Wildgate. So we have a open beta trailer and a release date, and it's coming out this year, which is really cool. Um, it's kind of one of many in these space like board ship do thing fight genre that's coming out. Another game I'll talk about here in a minute actually is in the same. But I will be trying out Wildgate. I think it looks really cool. I think it's got a pretty solid idea of what you want to do. The ship to ship combat is always going to be really cool. Boarding with breach charges is like one of the things I've wanted in a video game in a long, long time. Like, I don't know how many of my audience have played the original Battlefront 2 from, was it like 2004? But they had like I always call it just Space Battle. I think it's just called Space Battle, where you would just fight like an enemy capital ship, and like sometimes they had like cruisers, and you could board them, but you only board like through the hangars. And the AI wasn't really good at defending their starship. So once you got on board and got past the hangar, it was like really easy to just kind of do whatever. Uh, so I'm really excited to see a game where I can like breach a window and enter ships that way, and do like all sorts of other cool stuff. And have that kind of like freedom of movement, I guess, to do that. I'm worried about it being, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about it not being a good shooter because it is like a first person game. I'm pretty picky when it comes to shooters, but I mean, from the trailer, and you always got to take trailers with a grain of salt, the shooting looks pretty good, and you can do some really interesting things, like shoot breaching charges so that your teammates can go flying through the window you just breached and stuff like that. So I will probably try that open beta. It's going from June 19th, 9th, excuse me, 9th through 16th, and it is. So when you guys are seeing this, it will have been out for a while. It'll still be out for 4 more days or 3 more days or something like that. So I will be trying that out. That's gonna be really neat. So a game that I kind of was in the same vein that I was really looking forward to is Jump Ship. Jump Ship is, I don't want to say similar in like how it plays, but at least in concept. You just kind of get a group of buddies, fly your ship, and scavenge some stuff. I did just the tutorial so far. Hopefully, I'm doing some stuff with a few people to show off the rest of that demo. But it looks really really cool. You just kind of go in space. You can again board other people's ships. If your ship is hit by a laser or a rocket or something, you have to go outside and fix it. And there's like airlock mechanics, and you can jetpack around when you're in space. The shooting didn't feel great, but it didn't feel bad either. So I look forward to seeing how it feels when I'm trying to shoot something that's like an enemy not player, but actually I don't know if there's PvP, but like an enemy that's shooting back and moving around. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I think from the next thing we'll talk about is this Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I've actually never heard of this until this came out. Um, I don't know. I have been getting into fighting games, but this is like a beat 'em up, like side scroller, and I mean it looks fun for people who might like that kind of stuff. But I'm like really tired of Marvel. I don't know if anybody else is really that tired of Marvel. I am marveled out. Like Marvel's coming out with a 44 fighter game at some point. I think next year. Was it Marvel Tokon or something? And it looks really pretty. It looks fun. I'm not a big fan of team fighters, but I'm just like I'm marveled out, man. I don't care. Like you guys show me Iron Man, and I'm like, cool, it's fucking Iron Man again. I'm really tired of Iron Man and all that stuff. And I mean, like I love Spider Man. I'm just tired of the movies and like the media. It's just everywhere. But all good. But yeah, this looks really cool for people who like this style of game. Maybe if it's on PC. Maybe if it's as long as it's not full price, maybe I'll actually look into it. I'm like I said, I'm still really tired of Marvel, so we'll see. But I don't know, it looks pretty cool. It's supposed to come out this year, and it's like a co-op game, so I got some buddies who would be probably like to play that. So I will definitely give that a shot. It's got 15 heroes, lots of fun. The next game is a game I was really excited about. I was so excited for Mecha Break. I was so excited for Mecha Break. I played in the alpha launch or beta or whatever it's called now that they did a few months ago, and man, it was I like enjoyed it and was like gonna play more. And then they added a kernel level anti cheat that conflicts with other popular. Yeah, I was like freaking out. Other popular anti cheats, and that's kind of a problem. A lot of the games I enjoy playing use easy anti cheat, and the one that Mecha Break uses conflicts with easy anti cheat. And then there's like reports of it not turning off when the game is closed and like having to be manually removed when you uninstall the game. So it's got like some problems and some security stuff like that I don't like. And I know like, ooh, kernel level anti-cheat buzzword, blah, blah, blah. I do have Helldivers 2 installed, and I know that it has one. I know a lot of games do have them. You like can't get away with from them. Not really anymore. But I'd like to pick and choose which ones I put on my computer. Like I won't play Valorant or League or Teamfight Tactics because I don't want to install their anti cheat. Whether or not the fears I have are grounded or not, I don't want to have to go into my BIOS just to play a free to play shooter game. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to be messing with my BIOS for something that's just like to make an anti cheat work, and I have to do that to make the Vanguard anti cheat. I think that's what it's called. Is it called Vanguard? The one for Valorant. You guys know which one I'm talking about. I just don't want to do that, so I just don't. And like some people have told me that I'm silly, in less nice words, but that's just like a lot to do for an anti cheat. Outer Wilds 2, I'm looking forward to. I still need to play Outer Wilds 1. I've just been on a backlog of games, but this will probably motivate me to play the first one. Obsidian always does really good work. I mean, most people are going to know them from Fallout New Vegas, which is fair because it was a really good game. And I mean, it's just neat stuff. Like they have a gun that is a shrink ray, and then you hit him with a sledgehammer, and that's how you deal with an enemy, and it's really cool. And it's open world, so open world space, and I love open world space stuff. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. High on Life 2, I'm not looking forward to this because I didn't play the first one because I thought it was dumb. It's just the same, like, it's the same humor from other games like Rick and Morty, but less. I don't know. It just feels so meh. I don't want to say lowbrow because a lot of it actually there's like a lot of smart humor in that show. There's a lot of not smart humor either, but I don't know. It just I barely watch Rick and Morty, so I like High on Life just does not is not in that right spot for me in terms of humor. So I just can't play it, and not can't, but like don't feel like playing it. But it looks like it is a good successor to the original, which is great for the people who liked the original. So I'm really happy for you. Uh, the next game was Aphelion. They didn't reveal anything. It was just I don't think it seemed like mostly just a well they did show I guess gameplay ish. It just looks like an exploring simulator that has like maybe roguelike elements to it because there's like a scene where the character like wakes up in the snow after something happens and there's like aliens. I don't know. I mean climbing and stuff. The not my cup of tea, but I mean cool. Planet of Lana 2 is coming out. That looked really fun for the people who like Planet Lana. I actually might give it a try. I don't know. It looks the art style is cool. Um, the concept is cool, and I don't know, just nice little side scroller. Gears of War. Now this is a big one. Gears of War Reloaded gets an official trailer, and it's going to be on PlayStation. So Gears is finally going to PlayStation. For anyone who doesn't know, Gears of War is an Xbox was an Xbox exclusive since like '07. Gears of War is like a long running franchise. Um, it was called like a Halo killer actually at one point, and it wasn't. It was just funny that back in that era, everything was the Halo killer. It's pretty fun. Has a neat co-op mechanic. Extremely violent. Really good story for the first I think 3 games. I really enjoyed. I didn't really like the 4 and 5 and some of the other ones as much, but that's okay. I really like that. So I probably will look into picking that up when they put the PS5 version live because I want to see about multiplayer. There's no way they launch it without multiplayer. They didn't mention it, but up to 120 FPS and 4K resolution, all sorts of cool stuff. Gears of War E-Day is still in production, so I do want to try that out. Um, so yeah, let's look at Gears fans have some really cool stuff coming out. I missed this trailer actually. Pragmata. This looks like a spooky. No, it's not a spooky game. I don't know. This you're fighting giant robots. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much to say. No, there's a bunch of other like smaller games and that were announced at Game Fest that look really cool, and I definitely am keeping an eye on. I don't think this list had one that I was actually like a couple that I'm really excited for. Let me double check my Steam. One of them being oh god, Chrono Odyssey. I want to say Chrono Odyssey. I'm gonna say, but let me pull my wish list and look for the stuff I just added. I need to take make a break off actually. So Jump Ship, I talked about a little bit, but that wasn't announced there or anything. I did add these. Where'd they go? Da, 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 da. Yeah, Chrono Odyssey. That's TBA on announcement, but it's a next generation MMORPG featuring awe-inspiring visuals inspired by Unreal Engine 5 and seamless open world dynamic action-based combat mechanics based on time manipulation and extensive customization. So, first off, the trailer opens and it's just a bunch of knights fighting shit and like that's already cool. I'm a sucker for like cool knight armor and these guys all have like really cool knight armor. I mean, there's some like I don't want to call it gooner bait, but no, kind of gooner baity armor. Um, one of the promo pictures has like a wizard hat and like a chromancer orb. This is like it just looks neat, and I'm excited to play it. There's like a tower shield, lances. like you could sell me on a game on just those concepts alone, like a really customizable, like medieval fantasy knights mages type MMO, and then you throw in like time powers, and I'm in. Like I'm a time traveling butler. Like that's my shtick. That's my thing. And to play a game that I can just be a knight and have like a sword and shield and do time shit, like that is like top five. Like, hey, you want to try this game? Like, if you want to bait me into playing a game, give me a knight or give me time powers or give me both. If you give me both, I will play it. And so I am in on this game. It looks so cool. I hope it doesn't suck. Like, I really hope it doesn't suck. But that's that's my fear, is that it's gonna be bad or it's gonna have some stupid bullshit like, I don't know. It's made at Chrono Studio by Cacao Games. I'm probably mispronouncing that. They've done. I know I've seen a bunch. I think I've seen them before, but I don't see anything in there. Chrono Studio this is their first game, so like I'm kind of worried about it. But it's on my wish list. I'm really excited for it. I hope it's cool. I really hope it's cool. God, please don't suck. Chrono Studios, if you somehow see this, I will play test for you for free just to make sure that it works out. I'm being so serious. I will just play it. I will just give you all of the stuff that you need to make a better game. I don't know. That's all I got for you, really. I mean, I'm just just want to play it. So yeah. So those are kind of like some of the games from game announcements. There's this other game. I don't know if this was at Summer Games Fest, but it's called it's okay. So I think it's pronounced Pioneer, but it's Pioneer. So like Pioneer. You get what I'm saying. It's also an MMO FPS, both PvP missions and PvP zones. So a lot like Division, which was kind of hit or miss for me. But this looks like gritty. It looks like there's maybe some magic involved. Um, looks a little real gritty. There's like tunnels and buildings and like really really cool environment art. There is a demo, so I probably will download that demo, uh, and try that out at some point. And it's made by GFA. Okay, I'm not gonna pronounce their name because I'm probably gonna butcher it. With GFA Games. Oh, GFA Games. I am so dumb. You guys can understand why I was a little hesitant to say, and it's self-published, so um, that's kind of cool. So I'll try that demo actually here soon. Maybe I'll make a video on it. We'll see. You guys know how I am about videos. I just kind of make them whenever. Speaking of making videos whenever, I should have an Arma video up Monday following this podcast. So on the 16th, I should have an Arma video. On the 18th, I'm hoping to have something else. So that's kind of my progression. And then I won't have anything on the 20th. And then on the 27th, I will have another podcast. So on, just kind of follow that rotation. Give myself start churning out more videos now that I'm streaming more consistently. Um, anyway, that's sidetracked from the games. You guys want to hear about games, I'm sure. Speaking of demos, I did play the Rogue Point demo. I misspelled the name a couple of times because I put the U in the wrong spot, but we're out here. Rogue Point was really interesting. So it's supposed to be for 4 players. I played the first mission a few times. It didn't seem hard enough. Maybe the first mission was just it's supposed to be super super baby easy, and I'm just bad. I never finished it because I kept dying on extract mostly. You're supposed to take 4 players in, and I was getting to the end as 1 player with just a shotgun. So maybe the later missions are harder in the demo or something. But it was really cool. It's like a rogue light, I think is what they call it in the description. So it's rogue like, but a little easier. So you get 2 tries instead of 1. And it took me forever to realize that last night. I would get money and then I would die, and I'd be like, "Where'd all my money go?" And it's because I died, and it was the second try. So it's kind of cool that you get 2 tries with all your money and stuff like that. But the shooting felt like kind of meh. Um, I don't know how to explain this. I'm gonna try to explain as best I can. So anybody who, if you somehow Rogue Point Dev sees this, here's some feedback from me, and maybe I'm the weird one, and that's totally understandable. But when I was running around, I would try to click middle or right click to zoom, and I could have rebound this, but I wanted to play the game as like close to what they intended with the controls as possible. I do that a lot for demos, and it doesn't zoom. It like sometimes would lean, and then sometimes it wouldn't lean, which was confusing. Click middle mouse wheel was the zoom, and it wasn't really like ADS. It was literally like you just leaned forward as a character, or like narrowed your FOV. Like you zoom like just like somebody took the zoom scale and went plus 10%. So, and it didn't affect your accuracy as far as I could tell. It actually got me killed more often than not when I tried to use it, because I would try to zoom in on somebody or like ADS, and then it would switch weapons, and then I would like pull out a flashbang, or I would pull out like a med kit, and I just wouldn't do anything. So that was annoying. Uh, and that's probably like my biggest piece of feedback is the shooting just kind of felt weird and just not super. It felt good if you were just hip firing everything, which is probably what it was more intended to be like anyway, since there's no true ADS or a zoom. You're just kind of supposed to run and gun just a little bit. Uh, but it's supposed to be like it's like ready or not light in terms of what you're doing, because you're still like a SWAT team. You're breaching these places, taking out mercenaries and doing whatever. At least in the first mission, you didn't have to worry about civilians. You didn't have to like use non-lethal anything to try to subdue people, uh, which is fine if you're going for like a rogue light and you're just kind of doing that. Like, oh, you're a contracted team breaching these buildings to do whatever. That's totally fine. It was a cool experience. I did enjoy it overall. I would definitely try to take some friends in and play it together and see if how hard it is. Like, does it scale or anything like that, or if I'm just really bad and I extract too much. My other piece of feedback for that would be there's these melee guys called berserkers. I'm pretty sure is what they called. They're just shirtless and have a machete. Um, the issue I have with them, it's just kind of like the same issue I always have with like a melee class in FPS, is either they have to be super tanky, uh, or like insanely fast, and these were almost both. They would take multiple shotgun shots, like full spread, like to the chest, like 3 or 4 of them. Um, and like I said, it's supposed to be like for 4 players. So I guess if you had like 1 or 2 other players with you, they would go down really, really quick, and it wouldn't be that difficult to take care of them. But it doesn't feel good when the guy who's shirtless runs at you and you shoot him 3 times with the shotgun, he doesn't die. But you shoot a guy in like any sort of clothing once with the shotgun and he dies. It's like there's like a visual disconnect. I think they did it so it was easier to tell them apart, so you could prioritize. But just like having them hold a machete in the air and like having the glow sticks on their waist that are very noticeable, and having them yell is plenty. They can wear like really basic clothing. Maybe put a vest on them so you can tell that they're supposed to take more than one shot, because like shooting them with a shotgun like at point blank, um, even like in an arcadey kind of game is what it is. It should have probably just straight up killed him, but that's like fine. That's just like a visual thing more than anything. It was fun overall, and I would definitely play it again. Um, will I purchase the whole game? It just kind of depends on how expensive it is and how many people I have with me. If that makes sense. Like if I have enough people. So yeah, that's my big thing. yeah, so that's kind of like the Summer Games Fest and like a couple of the demos I've played. Highly recommend Jump Ship. I do recommend trying out Rogue Point. You might like it. Just bear in mind the aiming is the like gunplay is a little weird, and visually like one of the enemies is less tanky or more tanky looking more tanky than he looks, which is I think kind of a problem, but not enough of a problem that it took away from my enjoyment. Just kind of confused me a couple times when they did kill me. It's kind of like that's kind of like it. But I mean, Summer Games Fest, good job. You guys did a great job with showing off a lot of really cool games. I'm really excited for some of these games, especially Chrono Odyssey. I know I talked about it and I sounded really like I was really after it, but man, that game, I hope it's good because I want to play it, and I will play it. I will literally play test for free. You guys need a play tester. I will play test for free. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's sick and I want to play it. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It's made in the UE5. It just right up my alley in terms of like stuff I want to play. So hit my line up if you are a Chrono Odyssey dev. I will absolutely play it. I'll promote that shit for free as long as it's fun, which is kind of like the key thing. If it's not super fun, I might want to be paid, but I'm hoping it's fun. That's my hope. So yeah, so like Summer Games Fest was like super cool. I'm really excited to play those games. The hosting was a little weird, and it was like it was like some other games I'm not gonna talk about much. But he was like, this game made me laugh out loud so hard I almost threw up. And I was like, okay, this is going to be really dumb. And it was. You're playing this guy who's like in a park and he's in like a onesie or something. And I don't know, just it didn't feel good to watch. It didn't feel, the jokes felt really bad and all sorts of stuff. And like there's like a character who like talks and it was like, oh, you found the bathroom all by yourself. I'm like, dude, this is like, who is this for? Obviously not me because I thought it was really like not cool and I really didn't like it. I don't even remember what it was called. It's like First Steps or something. He plays like an adult character and it's called like First Steps or something. I don't know, just the way the hosts talked about it and acted like it was like this cool, like hilarious, cutting edge, funny game was just like not it. I was not for it. But yeah, that happens. And then Xbox Showcase happened on the 6th, I think. Was it 6th? No, the 8th. The 8th. Sorry, I got my days messed up a little bit. So the Xbox Showcase happens. Big thing I'm gonna talk about is there was some people are coping on Halo news, but there was no real no real Halo news. And god damn it. Like I was not expecting anything. I was expecting nothing. I like basically what we got. I was like, there's not gonna be anything. But they really could not. Like community sentiment is better this year overall than it was last year. Last year, everybody was dooming really hard. We know there's games in works now. Like for sure, they have confirmed multiple projects. They've shown off some stuff in UE5. So they've talked about like the future projects again. It's like we know stuff is coming. So I'm not mad or like disappointed or frustrated that stuff isn't being announced because it's not coming. Last year I was super pissed. So I was like, look, like we just needed something. It doesn't even have to be a real trailer. It's just to be like, hey, project's in production or something. We got that at the Halo World Championship. So I guess maybe they're doing it again. Like they're going to do all their announcements at Halo World Championship, which seems super weird considering Xbox Showcase is like the most eyes on Xbox throughout the year. But I digress. Like they just didn't show anything. They had Phil Spencer go up there and be like, we've got Fable, we've got whatever else he said. I'm so sorry. Like I don't remember. But he was like, whatever, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. I'm like, okay, cool. You could have just said Halo, right? So he's basically saying next year a classic is returning. That might be Halo. Oh my god. I don't think so. I mean, I think so. because I don't know what else it could be. But Green Man Master Chief wasn't in there at all. There was no like hint nor hide or hair of Halo, and that was really disappointing. I was expecting nothing, and I'm still disappointed. Maybe I should just be like not expecting anything or hoping for anything until the Halo World Championships. I have no idea anymore. Just a video saying Halo announcement coming on October whatever. Insert grand final Sunday of the World Championship, which is like October 24th or something. Just like that. Like, I hate announcements of announcements. It could have been that, and I would have been chill. But now I feel like I had to talk about it because I was really adamant that like if there was nothing there, I'd be upset, and I am, and like I'm just gonna have to be because like I get they don't want to show anything until it's ready, and they want to make sure it's like it's a really good showing. Like they need this to be a good showing because Halo Infinite had a horrible showing on its first reveal. It had a horrible launch. It was missing everything, and it's gotten kind of like good. It got good, and then it got some really awful blowback for doing some stuff, and then it's like an okay spot now. It could use some more like real updates, not shop updates like the one we just got on Tuesday, but that's like fine. Like I'm fine with a shop update for a game that's 4 or 5 years old, if I know the next game is coming in like a year or less, or like in a year and a half. I don't care. I just need I need that. Like I bought the Battle Pass because it has I wanted that fucking commando model, but it still feels bad because I don't know when the next game is coming, but I know that there are multiple projects, quote unquote, in production. So we'll see. I am not super excited for an announcement at Worlds, other than the fact that I should be there. I bought my tickets. I just need to get a W&B and my train tickets because I'm gonna travel far by train for once. It's just gonna be expensive. But if you've never taken a train anywhere, that shit is awesome. You can get like a private room. They'll feed you in the room if you want. You sleep in. It's pretty nice. And that's gonna be kind of a long trip, but whatever. I digress. Other stuff at the Xbox showcase. Another Call of Duty game. Wow. Who saw that coming? I did. Everyone did. There was no way they weren't gonna have another Call of Duty game. The fact that it's Black Ops 7 is kind of insane. Um, they just did Black Ops 6. I don't know, and they're bringing back Mason. They're bringing back Woods, I guess. I don't know if that was Woods or not, but I know they're bringing back Mason. So the Mason family is back again. Look who's back. Mason's back. Tell a friend. But the trailer starts. So this is funny. So the trailer starts and they show the robot, and I'm like, that's Call of Duty. I was with my buddy Void, who I had on my podcast really recently, and he was streaming the reactions. And I go, that's Call of Duty. He goes, is it? And I go, yeah, that's what Ethan looked like in Infinite Warfare. So I thought it was Infinite Warfare 2 or something. I thought that's what we were getting. And then the butterfly thing happened. I was like, maybe this isn't Call of Duty, but this really looks like Call of Duty. Like that looks a lot like Ethan. Um, Maybe they're tying that shit together. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. And they go, boom, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. After teasing like world premiere, Xbox Game Studios, special reveal, and all this other stuff. And it's like, whoa, this is building up. Could be Halo. And no, it's Call of Duty. Like, cool, I guess. I mean, like, that's fine. We knew Call of Duty was coming. I should have known it was called, like, everybody should have known that that was Call of Duty, given that it wasn't in the actual showcase. And then they were like, here's our legendary developer, blah, blah, blah. World premiere, Black Ops 7. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's just going to be a Call of Duty game. I'm not like, I played the beta for Black Ops 6, was like, this is cool, didn't buy it. I don't care. Like, it just felt like Call of Duty. I was going to do the same thing I do every time I play a Call of Duty game, which is make a shotgun class and make people rage. And that's it. And I think I played it on Game Pass because I played a little bit. And I'm just like, not about it. I'm just not about Call of Duty's gameplay loop anymore. I don't know. It's just like trolling and like getting voice reactions is like it, which means I can't stream it because I'll get in trouble. Uh, or I can get in trouble. And I don't want to record it because like I don't know. Like you can only go so far with YouTube videos of just trolling people. I think I know there are a lot of really popular like Wildcat. I'm Marksman. Their content is basically just making people fucking mad in S&D and doing funny things in S&D in Call of Duty, and like power to them for doing that. But like that shit gets boring. On top of some other stuff about it, like I don't know, you just have to be angry when you're playing. They just sound angry all the time, and I don't want to feel like I'm angry when I'm playing games. So I'm just not dealing with Call of Duty. It's actually probably why I've stopped playing so much Halo. Because like if I play ranked and I have like open comms on, people are just mean. Not to like, what was me? Because I'm bad. Like I will fully admit I am not very good at Halo anymore. Probably because one, I don't play it a whole lot. Two, I'm a little older, so I don't play it a whole lot. I basically only play firefight, firefight, and a little bit of BTB or like squad battle. So like I go into ranked and I'm like, cool. I've played this once ranked like twice in this like a few times this year. I haven't played since like February in ranked, and I'll go into ranked first game and it'll be some dude who has 16,000 ranked games, and he's like, God, you're dog shit. And I'm like, bro, you have 16,000 games and you're in diamond. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's harsh. I just feel like if you're gonna be talking shit to people and you have 16,000 games, you should be a little higher rank. I'm just gonna put that out there. Maybe he started in bronze and like it took 2,000 games in bronze for him to get into silver and so on and so forth. But like, nah, shut up. I will say there are a lot of people in Halo, the Halo sphere, who have wanted to play recently. I should get ranked just so I could hop on with them and play. They're really nice dudes. Um, so maybe I'll make some Halo content again. We'll see. Beyond like streaming firefight, because that's kind of all I've really done, or again like squad battles. I don't know. We'll see. So that's kind of like gaming up to now. Some stuff I'm doing in the future with gaming. I'm playing a lot of Arma. Arma is really cool. I'll be playing Arma tomorrow, maybe on stream. Arma has been really neat. I didn't really think I would like a game that is, what's I gonna say, quote unquote milsim. But like I've got a cool video that I'm gonna make here in a little bit about it, and I'm gonna show why it's really neat. And uh, if you guys get it, whoever gets it, I will play it with everyone. Um, just because like it's server based, I can just hop into a server and play with everybody. Super easy, super fun. I mean, I met a guy, and he was really chill and invited me to come play on their PVE nights. So I'll try that out. Like I don't know. I mean, Arma community seems really nice overall in terms of like people who are making content. The guys in game get a little mad if you're not like really good at the game or know what to do, but whatever. I'm in a public server. If I'm really that annoyed, I can leave and I can find a new one. So that's been so Arma Reforger has been a really good new outlet to play some games. Um, it's my first time playing M&K on a game consistently, and it's pretty nice. My aim is not great. It probably will never be that great, but that's fine. I don't need to be that great because I'm bad and I don't care. I'm just here for fun, man. Like I just want to do something cool. I want to do something fun. Uh, like what was, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a thing in my upcoming video is why I was like, cool, Arma is for me because I can do this type of stuff, and I don't have to be a cracked out shooter where I can two shot people from 200 meters with my iron sights on my AK-74 or whatever. So keep an eye out for those Arma videos. I do appreciate the support on those. I appreciate the support on all of my stuff. The views on this are always great. You guys are awesome. Um, Looking ahead, I was really looking forward to Marathon, but Bungie has fucked themselves so bad. I'm not looking forward to Marathon anymore. I'll probably still wind up playing it. depending on who I know that gets it, and if they want to do like party up. I'm gonna be so real. Like that's it. Uh oh, I almost forgot. Xbox revealed their handheld. It's gonna have Steam. I think the Steam Deck will still be better. That's fine though. I'll get one or the other probably. Maybe the Xbox one so I can play Xbox games and Steam games. But we'll see. My significant other wants the Steam Deck, and that's probably what I will be getting, just because that's what they want. But it happens. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Well, I got through my game stuff, like video games. Anybody who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, this next like section is probably going to be really boring to you. I'm going to try to keep it kind of simple because I don't want to run too long on this. I've already gone for a little while, and I don't, like I've kind of just been talking about stuff that I've seen and like whether or not I think it's cool. So I don't know. But over the weekend, Konami Yu-Gi-Oh, like TCG, released like a new set of rules. Man, that sucks. I didn't think they were gonna change it this fast. So tomorrow, I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast. They're gonna talk about this on the podcast, and I talk about this in the podcast. This was changed like just now, like within. Hang on, let's see. 2 minutes ago, this was found out. So this has changed. So what this said originally is they were going to use modern rules in card text, and I talk about that in the video, in the podcast. So I'm going to have to make a recording and put it in there and say, hey, this changed. So that's cool, I guess. Like, gabagoo or whatever for their Time Wizard events, and they have fucked it up. It is so not great. Simo, one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers, made a really long form video about this and goes way more in depth about it, much more knowledgeable. I might link it. I don't know. YouTube wants me to like send my ID in just to put links in my descriptions, and I think that's really weird. But like whatever, man. So anyway, so Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have like a long history of having really good alt formats, or as they call them, Time Wizard. So if you're like a Magic player, the Standard Commander, Legacy, and something else, and like those, like the bunch of different ones. Yu-Gi-Oh just calls them Time Wizard formats. So over the weekend they were like, okay, Time Wizard events use available cards, forbidden limitless, rules regarding drawing on the first turn, and the dueling field of selected Time Wizard format, which means we won't have like an extra monster zone in Edison or Goat or anything. We saw first turn draw. That's fine. Notably, what's missing from that is rules and mechanics of the game. And they go over that. They say, starting at the NAWCQ, current game mechanics and current card text will be used for Time Wizard events, and that's in bold. And that shit sucks. Simo did a really good job of breaking it down of like why that's like giving like really concrete stuff. I will give kind of the short and sweet of everything. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's two really popular alternate formats for Time Wizard. There's a few others, but like the most popular is Edison, which is like 2000, I want to say 11 or earlier. And then Goat format, which is like 04. So there's like 17 to 20 years roughly gap between that stuff. Some reactions have been like, oh, they're making it easier for players who didn't play that or aren't knowledgeable of those old formats to get in and play, so they don't have to learn new cards and learn new rules. And that would be cool, except they gutted the format in certain ways. One of my favorite decks of Edison is pretty close to unplayable. I don't want to say unplayable, but it's severely hampered by these rule changes. I love to play Frog Narcs, which is Frog Monarchs. Um, so this is a card. It's called Treeborn Frog. If it's in my graveyard during my standby phase, if I don't control a spell or trap, it revives itself. In Edison, you can do it. It can just keep trying to revive itself. There's a card called Royal Oppression in the format that negates special summons, but it can't stop Treeborn Frog because Treeborn Frog can just keep trying. It's like over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And there's a cost associated with using Royal Oppression. So you can only use it so many times. So they're not going to use it on Treeborn Frog because Treeborn Frog beats Royal Oppression. That's like the thing. Because of the way they changed Treeborn Frog, you can only do it once now because it got eroded or the card text changed, and so the way the card is used changed. So you would you like, okay, cool, Treeborn Frog, chain Royal Oppression. You are now out your Treeborn Frog, and you are so far behind as a Frognark player that you might as well just go to game 2 or game 3 and hope it's not game 3 because then you just lose. It's just dumb. It's really frustrating that they have this really cool format and they were like, how do we fuck it up? And then that's like one of the things they did. One of my other favorite cards of all time, Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, has been eroded. Card text has been changed. Card does not work how it did in Edison. So in modern, like today, Brionac works different than it did in Edison. Now, you could argue for the health of the game, this was a good change, and I would be hard-pressed to disagree. But for Edison, it's a problem. So, right now, what Brionac, Dragon the Ice Barrier, or Brio, I'm going to shorten it to Brio, does right now is on your turn, discard however many cards from your hand as you want, and then target cards your opponent controls to return to the hand. And you can only do that once per turn. So if you have 2 cards in the field, I activate Brionac, discard 2 cards, target both your cards, return them to the hand. Cool, right? Like, that's fine. And I can only do it once per turn. In Edison, it just said Brionac is like, I don't remember the exact wording, so I may get this slightly wrong, but I know how it works, so I can explain it. It's discard any number of cards, return that many cards to the hand, from the field to the hand, or something like that. So in Edison, you could discard. Let's say you have 2 cards in the field. I have 3 cards or 2 cards in the field. One Brionac, one's like a back row. I could say I pitch. All right, I'm gonna activate Brionac. You have to respond then. You don't get to wait for me to discard cards. You just, I'm pretty sure. I might be a little wrong on. I don't think you discard for cost. I'm like pretty sure you don't. I could discard 3 cards, and I could return all 3, including the card on my side of the field. So there was some really cool plays you could do with Brionac in Edison that you can't do anymore. Another thing is that it used to not be once per turn. So if you had, let's say you had 4 cards, and one of them, and I had Brio, and I had 5 cards in, I could go, okay, I'll discard a card, return one to the field. You have to choose in that moment whether to use one of your 4 cards or it'll be returned to the hand and you won't have an opportunity to use it. So like if you had Book of Moon, Book of Moon to book Brio, you would have done that already, but like Book of Moon, which is like a cool card. Any reactionary effect that could interact with Brio or something like that, you have to use in that moment. Anything but with the changes, I have to go all in, and then you can decide whether or not you want to interrupt the Brionac effect. And that is a problem. They killed Goyo Guardian, which is a synchro monster in the extra deck. It was one of the best outs for Stardust Dragon because it was big enough to swing over it without trading. But the original Goyo Guardian just needed a tuner and a non-tuner. The errata version needs a earth tuner and non-tuner, and that just kind of like kills that card in Edison because earth tuners are only really played in X-Saber. and you would rather make like Arabellum or something. You would make there's other stuff you would make in X Saber. So it's really frustrating that they had this really cool format, and they have changed it. Then there's like goat format changes. I mean, so the next thing I'm gonna talk about is it affects both Edison and goat format, and it's called ignition trigger priority. I'm pretty sure we just call it turn player priority or priority for shorthand. If I have a card, so a big card that's affected by this and is probably the poster child of being affected by this, it's not a card that's in Edison, but there's a card like it called Chaos Sorcerer. But the card I'm talking about is Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the End. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's of the end. Either it's Blackluster Soldier. Um, you summon him, and the way it works in Goat and would if he was legal in Edison right now, if you're not playing by Konami rules, is you go boom, summon BLS, say I maintain priority, I activate Blackluster Soldier, and then you could banish a monster on the field. And the only way to stop that is with cards that very specifically interact with that. So there's like Solemn Judgment, which would stop it. Torrential Tribute, destroy everything on the field. You don't have a monster to banish, but there's cards that can directly interact with that, but they're not as many. With the changes, you can say, okay, I summon BLS. Now your opponent can respond, and they can use, for example, Bottomless Trap Hole. And I'm not going to explain Bottomless Trap Hole, but it can destroy BLS. So it would destroy and banish this BLS. It would get rid of the BLS before you could use its effective banish, making it infinitely stronger to run Bottomless Trap Hole. And when Bottomless Trap Hole was only considered like okay. Like in the past, Bottomless Trap Hole is considered okay. It just kind of shuts down that. Having played Edison and Goat format ish in a sealed environment, getting rid of priority was a good thing. It would have made certain things way too strong. But for the constructed, which is like the normal way people play, having priority is like super important. It makes, you could argue like for the health of the game in the long run, getting rid of it was good, which I agree with. But in those formats specifically, it doesn't. There's like stuff that happens that you just can't deal with, or not even deal with. It just feels like it makes certain plays weaker than they need to be or should be. BLS is still a crazy good card, but there's so much stuff that beats it now that it's no longer game winning on its own. Because like BLS is game winning on it nearly on its own in old formats that it's legal and has priority. This change makes it not. It's still like decent, but it's not great. It's not as good. Could be better. Should be better. Um, but whatever. Like ultimately, it's fine. Um, oh, I mean, ultimately, it's not fine. It sucks, and they shouldn't have done it. But gabagoo or something. I don't know. Like, it sucks. Some other changes is you're keeping like new card text for old cards. Actually, yeah. So like that's the last thing I'll talk about for this. Uh, and I talked about a little bit with like Brio and stuff like that. One of the big cards this affects, and they shaft dragon players in Edison with this change. It's like Future Fusion in Edison right now. If you activate it, basically just reads send 5 dragon monsters from deck to graveyard, which is really powerful. And is not always which is only sometimes game winning. Like you still have a chance to come back from that in Edison. What happened is Future Fusion no longer does that. It does it on your next standby, basically. So like after your opponent's turn, your opponent can now interact and stop that play. When before you were just like, I send 5 dragons, and it's not that play is very powerful. It's very strong, and can win you the game. But wasn't so strong that it just won you the game. But now it's just like better, and that so sucks. That does not feel good, or it's worse. It just feels worse. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. used to not be a hard once per turn. So if you had 2 copies, you summon one of them, you could revive the other copy, use that copy to revive another copy, use that copy to revive a different dragon. You went from 1 monster to 4 just with that, but you can't do that anymore because Red MD got errated, so it doesn't work the same. So dragon players got a lot of hits just because of this rule change. It's annoying. It's frustrating. I love Edison format. There's locals that are Konami sanctioned that I will not go to now because they can't run Edison. They have to run Konami Edison, and Konami Edison is not the same as the Edison I enjoy playing. Is it fun? Probably. I'd probably have fun. But I don't want to play Edison 2. I want to play Edison. I don't want to play modern Edison. I want to play Edison. And these changes just kind of make it harder to play, like certain decks. Like I said, the Monarch deck took a huge hit, and that's not including some of the other stuff that happened with the Monarch deck. So it's really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating because I was wanting to get back into those alt formats and go to locals for Edison, for Tengu, for Goat, but they play like completely differently now, and that's it just sucks, man. And I feel for the players who wanted to go who have bought their tickets for the NAWCQ just so they could play Edison, or just so they could play Goat, and they just don't want to now because the rule changes are really bad. I think it's E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! RBET is doing Edison. It's like an Edison tournament that's happening at the same time now as the NAWCQ. It will be happening nearby. So anybody that did go for Edison or is planning to go for Edison, go play the RBET by E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, check that shit out. That's gonna be really cool. They do like cash pricing too. Like it's awesome. Shout out those guys for putting that together too, because the NAWCQ isn't that far away, and they put that together really fast. Because we just found out about these rule changes on Saturday, like late, like 7 p.m. Pacific. It's like 10 p.m. Eastern or something. We found out about this. So shout out E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Good job, guys. I appreciate you. And anybody who wants to play Edison, let me know. I will play Edison with you. I love that format. I've played with a few people from the grid. I've played a few people from my community. It's a really fun format. I will definitely make Edison content if people want to see that, and I'll play it. I am not an expert at the format, so I have to look up rulings and stuff, but it's a lot of fun to play. It's much simpler than current Yu-Gi-Oh! Very easy to get into. Some rule changes that you'll have to learn, like turn player priority, like ignition priority, card text changes, and game mechanic changes, are like the big things. But man, it's a fun format. I think people should give it a shot. I think it's actually peak Yu-Gi-Oh! It's definitely better than the format we're currently in for modern. So I would rather play Edison. I don't want to play with Konami's rules that they're making, so I will not be. At least not officially. There's some unofficial places you can play it, and I will continue to do so. Those actually matter or like work. So yeah, that's it for the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Other cool stuff that's happening is the Gundam learning app is finally coming out. It was supposed to come out last month. It got delayed a couple weeks, but that's coming out on the 12th. I am looking forward to playing that. Because I'm gonna get into the Gundam card game. If you follow the channel, I've talked about my Gundam builds. I build a lot of Gundams. I'm actually going to be finishing up another one, or at least part of another one today, and I plan to do some spray painting today. Because the weather it's warm, but it's not so warm I want to die. It's like just warm enough for me to be like, it's kind of warm and just cool enough that I'm not hating life. So I'll be spray painting. I should start posting the progress of a build I've been working on. I've got everything done for it except for the painting, which is gonna take a little while. But I should have progress of that. Trust me, I know how to talk. I should have progress of that up on B Sky and my Discord and maybe nah, I probably won't post that to the other sites. We'll just do B Sky and Discord. Um, it's kind of a combination of Witch from Mercury kits and then a couple other small things and custom painted. And I'm gonna get some like water decals that are not like standard from Bandai or like go with Gundam. There's some cool symbols that I want to try out and use and stuff like that. I've got some really neat reflective water slides from Bandai adjacent companies that I'm going to be using. So that should be coming out, or I should start posting progress pictures of that when I put the primer on, and I might be putting the primer on today. I don't know. So when you see those pictures go up, that's the day I did the priming. So if you're watching this video now and I haven't put them up yet, I have not primed yet. I'm so sorry. It's gonna be cool though, so I'm looking forward to it. Some other stuff before I go. I'm really looking forward to. Man, I'm just looking forward to that Chrono Odyssey game. I'm looking forward to Jump Ship. I'm probably gonna play that soon. Keep an eye out for a stream on Friday. I will probably be playing some Arma, and by Friday I mean today, the day that this came out. Uh, if you're listening to this not on a Friday, the 13th, you missed this stream. I am so sorry. But I do stream on Saturdays. I stream Tuesday through Saturday. That's kind of my current stuff. And I stream from about 9 or anywhere from like 8:39 Eastern to about midnight Eastern, roughly. And that's Monday through Thursday. I mean Tuesday through Thursday. Friday I try to go a little longer, and then Saturday I start earlier. But Saturday is more unscheduled start times. So if you want to catch me, you just kind of have to you have to like pay attention to my go live. If you follow me on B Sky, if you follow me on Twitter, go on my Discord. Those are all the places I post it the most. I will be, like I said, and I'm hoping to do a couple cool things with some people that are friends of the channel. My buddy, I'm gonna call him my buddy because my acquaintance sounds weird, and my friend sounds weird because we don't know each other well enough to be considered friends. And I would love to be friends with them. So if you're watching this, Night Rose, I do want to be your friend. I do want to play games with you. I know I mentioned a couple things, but they're a War Thunder streamer. We're doing their model reveal. Oh God, I think it's on the 13th. Oh God, it's yeah, it's on the 13th. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check because holy shit. But anybody who watches this, Night Rose VT on Twitch is really, really awesome. They're really nice. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern this Friday, 6:13. So this will only be out it'll be a couple hours after this comes out. Please go check them out. I will be posting about it on Twitter. Really good friend, really good person, really nice. They've been blowing up, and I want to continue to see them succeed. Because I like to root for the people who are nice and kind, like good old John Titor. I like to see him succeed. Ranch Smoothie doing great, building his fan base. Lethal Super doing good, just building his stuff there. Void hitting the grind consistently. I've got a lot of friends who are building their communities, and while like I said, I would like to be Night Rose's friend at some point. Definitely check them out. They're a growing streamer, and I like their content. Their vibes are really nice. You'll catch me in there a lot. I lurk in there a lot. Even while I'm streaming, I am lurking in there. But enough about that. Let's talk about music. You guys can feel it, can't you? The pressure. Sleep Token is coming. Sleep Token just did a festival. God, I wish I knew rock festival something. Let me look it up. Blue Ridge Rock Fest? No. Oh, it's old. Sleep Token Festival 2025. Bay Rock im Park, the Rock in the Park. It's in Germany. So they did their show. They showed off their new stage, a new set, their new mix and all that stuff. It was fucking good to watch live. I don't know if you guys have ever watched a music performance from a phone that's live, like a live performance recorded on a phone, posted to YouTube. The quality is usually not that great. This person did a great job. Uh, and their set design was awesome. Their costumes awesome. They had like these videos and they had like a whole like temple made of like polystyrene probably. It was really cool. Um, Vessel did a great job as always too. Awesome. 4 was screaming great and supporting. 3 was just being goofy and playing great music. But their set list included spoilers. I'm gonna say skip like a minute into the future from now. So they did Thread the Needle from their first EP, and that shit was super sick. Um, you could tell most of the crowd had no idea what was happening because they didn't sing that song. They sang some of the other slightly older stuff, but nobody was singing the Thread the Needle, and that was really funny to me. I hope when I go to see them, they do Thread the Needle or at least some of the other stuff from their EPs. That would be really cool. I'm a huge fan of Fields of Elation. I hope that happens. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about other shit now, so that when that minute comes up, which is in about 15 seconds from here or so, I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't know. I'm really excited to see Sleep Token live. They have done a great job of building stuff. They have all sorts of. They killed it at that festival. Watching the festival performance was really fucking awesome. So I am excited to see more of them. All right, that should be the minute. So if you skipped a minute ahead, you should be safe. Um, or at least you're close. Like you're gonna join back into something and be like, "What the hell happened?" Rewind slightly, find this part, and be like, "Okay, cool. I'm in the safe. I'm in the safe zone." I really hope when they come to the states, they keep some of the songs off that set list. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it now because I already talked about it. Uh, that would be really cool. That would be really really awesome. I am so sorry for anybody who does not like Sleep Token that listens to this podcast about how often I talk about them. It's kind of a problem. They have a good spread of emotions and stuff in their music. Makes it easy for me to listen to. Uh, so I listen to all sorts of different tracks by them. Spiritbox's new album has been really good. Been liking that. But yeah, I'm looking into maybe multi-streaming on YouTube, which means I need to stop listening to copyright music at some point. I mean, I totally don't do that. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You can't. You can't prove it's not in the VODs. I will be looking into YouTube multi-stream, or maybe I'll just stream like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday on Twitch, and 2 days on YouTube or something. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. I've talked a whole lot. I am definitely passing the hour mark, not as far as I do with my guests, but I don't know. It just is what it is. My guests add time, make it easy to talk longer because I don't have to talk as much. It's crazy. I think last time I said if you had anybody you wanted to see me chat with or wanted to see me bring on the podcast, or I should see about bringing on the podcast, if you wanted to send me their way, let's do the same thing here in the comments down below. If you have somebody that you're like, oh, that'd be awesome to have on, let me know. I'm gonna see about getting some new guests here soon, and I know I've had a couple repeats. It is what it is. Hopefully I get some new guests soon, and I'll be streaming. I'll be live tonight when you're watching this, but I'll also be live when I'm recording this. So you guys will get to see both of those. Um, So yeah, there was something else that happened. I don't remember what it was. If I remember, I'll just talk about it on the stream and make a video out of it. How's that sound? You guys never done quote unquote react content before, but maybe I'll do a little. Maybe we do a little. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video, I do appreciate you. If you are watching and or listening, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, morning, evening, or night, we appreciate you coming out, listening. If you would be so kind as even if you didn't think this was the greatest podcast ever, just leave a comment or a like or both. If you're not subscribed, do that. Check out my Twitch. I will be live streaming, doing all sorts of stuff. Again, if you have the chance, go support Night Rose VT on Twitch at 5 p.m. Eastern when this video is live, so not long after. They're debuting their 2.0 VTuber model, and they have really good vibes. And I really want them to feel appreciated. You know, they've been really chill and kind and hanging out with me and like being nice. So go check them out. But with that, I will catch you all on the next one and hope you guys have a great weekend.